Today, we have another special LEGO Customs video on our hands. And this time around, though we have lesser figures, which I will show in a bit, we have 6. The theme this time is actually focused towards the Wizarding World, so I really hope you all like it more. And yeah, the last time I did something like a custom video, it got a lot of views, so thank you for that. I wish this video would get the same amount as well, but if it don't, that's fine as well. But anyways, back to this. So for the 6 figures, all of them will actually be related to the International Confederation of Wizards. If you don't know what that is, Dumbledore is part of it, and it's basically this government of wizards that, you know, help to keep the Wizarding World together and go against organizations such as Death Eaters and Grindelwald's army. And yeah, they were first shown in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And without further ado, let's go on to the next section and review. As you can see, over here we have 6 unique looking figures. And with that, let's start off with the figure on the left. For the first figure or character in this set, we have Heinrich Eberstadt, who is basically a Swiss wizard that was a delegate to the International Confederation of Wizards. He was first shown in the first film of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And yeah, he was a representative there from Switzerland. He was kind of on a political conflict with Serafina when they were like discussing about certain things to do with the breach of like the Statute of Secrecy or something like that. Serafina kind of mocked him for like his allowing of like Grindelwald to escape from Switzerland. So I think Grindelwald was captured there in Switzerland at some point. Then he escaped, and it was kind of a mockery towards the country's security, probably something like that. But going on towards like this custom itself, the hairpiece I actually used Red Guardians one, the headpiece I used Sirius Black, and the torso and leg piece actually belongs to the policeman that was in one of the accessory packs for LEGO Batman. I wouldn't say this is the best version that I can make, but it is the best version that I can make right now with the current pieces that I have. So I'm actually looking forward to getting this specific torso piece from this LEGO Shark Girl from Ninjago CMS series, which you can see in the picture over here, because that torso piece would work much better for this character right here, because this character inside the film actually has a medal by its side, and as you can see right there, for the torso I'm using, it doesn't have any, and that is the only disappointment that I kind of have right now. If I have that torso, this minifigure would be absolutely perfect, and I'm looking forward to making it improvised someday. So yeah, that's it for this minifigure. Next minifigure, we have Hector Potmar, who is basically a Minister of Magic who worked for the Ministry of Magic in Britain and was actually at the emergency meeting during the first film of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them as well, right next to the previous minifigure just now. And yeah, he was the one who actually identified Newt Scamander back then, because I think he know him because Theseus Scamander, the war hero, is actually his Newt's brother and all. And that's probably his only line from that show, but he's kind of made a good impression for me because his costume just looks very fancy, and I feel that I've done a very good job for this figure right here. As you can see, everything works well, especially for the Percival Graves torso and leg piece right there matches really well with the character from the movie. And otherwise, for the bow tie actually belongs to Flitwick, headpiece belongs to Mr. Flume, and the hairpiece actually belongs to Bricktober, Professor Slughorn. All really good experience that I have in building this figure, and I always had this image in my brain, and it was one of the characters that kind of kick-started this whole small series right here, so thank him for that. And yeah, that's kind of my opinions on this figure. Let's go on to the next character. This guy right here is honestly pretty special appearance as compared to previous two, because he had more amount of time in the show for the second film of Fantastic Beasts Crimes of Grindelwald. Remember at the start of the scene, Grindelwald was escaping and he kind of just wrangled, and with all those auras and all, yeah, he's the main guy who basically got trolled by Grindelwald. This guy right here is a German wizard who worked as the head of incarceration at the International Confederation of Wizards. So he participated, yeah, in Grindelwald escape thing and all. So he was supposed, I think, to take Grindelwald from America, Makusa, to Europe to answer for his crimes, but ended up Grindelwald escaped and the whole event started off for the second movie. And he almost died in the process, of which he just managed to survive because he managed to grab his wand mid-air before he landed all the way into the ocean. And yeah, he managed to save himself. Probably Grindelwald kind of let him off because he doesn't care. But moving on to the figure right here, the hairpiece belongs to a simple LEGO City figure, and otherwise the headpiece belongs to Magneto, torso piece belongs to Tina Goldstein, sorry I forgot the name right there. And lastly, for the leg piece, actually belongs to Ron Weasley, who had a Butterbeer inside Series 2 CMF series. Although I won't say it's super accurate to what he's like inside the film. I try my best in replicating it because there's not much characters with, say, like gray clothing or gray suits itself, and to match his appearance is pretty hard as well. But I tried to match it the most with Tina's kind of costume right there. I would say the costume would be more near towards what year this character was supposed to be acting as. Otherwise, like, I just wanted to give it a bit of pockets as well with like the leg piece right there, and that's how the end product is like right now. I hope you all enjoyed this figure, and next on we move on to a more obscure one. For the obscure one, I actually have absolutely no idea who he is, because the name was actually not given inside the scene, and the only part I actually know he appeared in was this full view scene with the Confederacy of like the Wizards right there. In that particular scene right there with the green turban guy, he's right there, and he just kind of caught my eye, so I wanted to build him because of that. So without knowing which representative or delegate he is of which country, I can't really tell you anything about him other than the fact whereby I kind of want to call him the Delegate of Persia, because I did use the headpiece from Prince of Persia to create him. Otherwise, that's the turban of one of the CMF series characters right here. And then for the torso piece, it actually belongs to Chip from Disney, the leg piece as well. And lastly, in the middle, we have this red belt where it actually belongs to, I think, Skylar from Ninjago. And honestly, that is it for this figure. Let's go on to the fourth minifigure, who is also shown in the second film. Next, we have Arnold Guzman, who was basically an American emissary at the International Confederation of Wizards. So this character right here was, as mentioned, shown in the second film. And yeah, he was actually in charge of, I think, the travel ban on Newt's commander during 1927. He's quite an interesting character, and he was with 4 guys during that discussion scene with Newt at the table. In the end, they didn't lift the ban, but I just wanted to kind of give some diversity to, as I mentioned, the minifigures over here. So this guy is from America, which kind of gives more diversity as well. So far we had like Britain Wizards, Switzerland Wizards, Germany Wizards, the weird one I think from Iran or like probably Egypt or something like that. And yeah, lastly, I kind of wanted to include him as well as part of the diverse figures. And next on, we move on to the last one, who is, well, a special one actually. For our final minifigure, we have Matilda Grimblehawk, who is basically a witch which worked at the Ministry of Magic in Britain as an investigator of creature-related incidents. And yeah, she's quite interesting just because I know almost nothing about her. She first showed up in the Wikipedia page that I was kind of researching, and she's otherwise, I think, mentioned or appeared in Fantastic Beasts cases from the Wizarding world. And I find her really interesting just because, like, I love animals in general, and she's actually a Magizoologist, so I love all of them in general. I really love Newt, and with that I just kind of wanted to make her minifigure. I just thought it was possible, so I made her, and I would say she looks very accurate to what was shown inside the particular game or something like that. And with her hairpiece, I actually used Hermione Granger's one. Headpiece, I used Clara Oswald from Doctor Who. Torso piece comes from a Lego Creator set or minifigure. And then I use a yellow belt from Batgirl, or leg piece that comes from this great grandfather from Hidden Side. And that's it for this minifigure. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Now let's move on to the full series and kind of talk about it. With that, we come to the end of this video. So yeah, these are 6 minifigures over here looking wonderful right there. I'll actually keep the 4th and 5th one. Not really sure if I'll keep this yet, I'll think about it. But the others I'm gonna dismantle and make it back to what they were before. And today has just been really fun experience to just make this minifigures right here. Maybe I'll do a custom minifigure video someday again if you'll like it. And I'm not sure what the future will be, but I hope all of you are well right now. It's very hectic times in the world, and I just hope all of you are kind of healthy and just doing well. And yeah, subscribe to my channel if you like it. If you don't, leave a comment. Noxidumos, and I'll see you on the jolly next adventure. Bye!